Hey, my little babies. Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of What the Smut Book Review. I think I've done that in a previous video. I can't. Maybe I'll make a habit. I don't know. Hi. Welcome back to another episode of What the Smut Book Reviews. I am your host, Candace. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode. I really appreciate it. I don't know what you were thinking. You done fucked up. Anyway, in today's video, I'm continuing on with my Penelope Douglas stalker mode. Like I think that's what I'm gonna dub it now, because I have just rolled from one Penelope Douglas novel to another, like one after the other. Like I'll stop one, I'll finish it, and then immediately jump into the next one. And that's just me. And for a hot minute on this channel, it's going to be the Penelope Douglas hours, because each one of my videos is like an hour. But yeah, so I'm continuing on with my stalkerage of Miss Douglas by reviewing a book I just finished and have already started the second one, but we're not going to talk about that. Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. Okay, so yeah, you guys, I said it in the beginning of my last video that I was going to try and be more chill. I was not chill. My last review, which was for Punk 57, was a fucking train wreck. Terrible. I literally lost the plot. I couldn't get my thoughts together. Nothing was cohesive. My brain was just mush. Am I in a better state now? I'm gonna try though. I'm really gonna try to not wig out. Okay, so first of all, I want to talk about the book itself, like the physical thing I'm holding. Look at it. Look at the cover. Look how creepy and like on brand it is, right? The back, right? Okay. Another thing I want to show you inside the book. Every chapter has like creepy, like black and white, artsy looking stuff. Like, look at this. It's like a creepy, haunted Cinderella palace. It's the Disney World palace. Look at it. And like, there's little splotches on the first page of every chapter. Like, it's so well thought out and so well done that I'm just like, I'm so proud to have this book on my shelf. Even if I won't allow anyone to touch it, because fuck you, don't touch my books. But like, just to know that if I was to trust someone to look inside this book, that this is what they would see. I'm so proud. Best money well spent. Like, the cover, I don't know if you can see the cover. Look at this. If I move it, you'll see like little specks of like glitter. There's like little, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but I can see it here. There's literally like specks of, I don't know if that's on purpose or if that's something, it's got to be on purpose. It's literally through the entire book. The entire cover has tiny bits of glitter, like shimmers. I don't want to say glitter because that sounds chunky and gross, but like shimmer. It has like a shimmer to it that I'm just like, oh my God. Like, you can tell that she put a lot of thought into the making of this book. Not necessarily just like the cover and whatever, but like, and obviously, duh, hello. So yeah, ranting aside, because I said I was going to remain chill. Didn't I say I was going to be chill? Lies. All lies. Okay, so this book is the first book in her Devil's Night series. There are 6 books, I believe, in this series as of right now, including, I think, 3 or 4 full-length novels and then like 2 novellas, I think. This one, allegedly, has 478 pages according to Amazon. Okay, I have 499. So I have more pages than Amazon said, which is always good. It's like a bargain. I feel like I got more bang for my buck if I get more pages than what Amazon promised me. The last one, they scrimped me on like 70 pages. So don't ever trust the print length that they put on it. It's bullshit. This book is free to read with Kindle Unlimited because it is free with Kindle Unlimited and participates in Kindle Unlimited. I do not believe you can get this book for your Nook, so I'm sorry, Barnes & Noble peoples. If you want to buy this book for your Kindle, buy it. Yours forever to keep, forever, ever, until your Kindle craps out at least. 99 cents right now. You get 499 pages for 99 cents. That's a fucking bargain, dude. You can get the paperback that I'm currently holding, this large trade paperback with its chunky binding and everything, for $19.84, which, okay. I don't know if it's pricey for what it is or if I'm just cheap. I don't know. It maybe a little bit of both, maybe one or the other, I don't know. I talked about this a little bit in my last review. I don't buy new books anymore. I used to be that person. I used to be that person who would go into Barnes & Noble and buy like a brand new hardcover that just came out. And I just don't. If, well, no, that's a lie. If it's for like one of my ride or die authors, like Cressley Cole, Gina Showalter, Nora Roberts, like I will buy their novels without even reading the blurb, without even like, and I want it the minute it comes out, like the second it comes out. So I made a liar out of myself. So yes, I do buy new books, but usually only buy like my ride or die people. It takes a lot to get me to spend $20 on a paperback novel. It takes a lot. Okay. This book, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit. I'm going to try not to be here for an hour because I know I always say that and then I'm always here for an hour anyway. Okay. I want to talk for a second about Amazon reviews. I cannot tell you the number. If you go look right now, you'll see them. The number of terrible 1-star reviews that just are sitting right at the top, like the shit cream of the top of the shit crop. Like they're all just right there. The first like 5 or 6 are just 1 star, disturbing, disgusting. Ugh. Like, okay. And I read several of them, like to completion. Pause. And it's all like stuff like, oh, I didn't know the novel was gonna be this way. It's so rapey. It's so whatever. It's so okay. Trigger warning. This book and the subsequent books in the series are considered dark romance novels. That's the author's words, not mine. So it's not just my opinion. The author believes them to be dark romance novels. Okay, if you know anything about dark romance novels and you read, like, are part of any book group or Facebook group or a reading community, Instagram reading community, okay, if you're part of any of that, you will know that there are certain tropes that are written deliberately for a niche audience. Dark romance novels will always contain something that the average bear does not like something that, I don't know, I don't want to say like, oh, you tame housewife type, because I don't want to disparage anyone, but if you read the blurb, it sounds dark. Then the bottom has a snippet that says, this is a dark romance novel. It is not suitable for all eyeballs. It is not, like, their trigger warnings, hello. And then you still leave a 1-star review saying that you didn't like how the main character was such an alpha hole and he was domineering and he pushed her around, and there's physical, there's like a almost rape scene, and it was just too dark, and they tormented her, and they stalked her, and Christ. It's a dark romance novel. It's going to have border pushing, like line pushing issues in it. It's gonna have and while those things are obviously not everyone's taste, obviously, there are some people who just can't handle, because either they've experienced their own personal trauma, or they're prudish, or you know what I'm saying? They just can't handle reading something like that. I get it. I understand that. Maybe it would be prudent for authors to specifically put in the synopsis, trigger warning, disturbing scenes of almost rape, or disturbing scenes of rape, or disturbing scenes of, stalkery type shit. Maybe it's important to do that, but then you're still going to have those people who don't even read the blurb all the way through and then get into the book and they go, you know what I'm saying? You can't please everyone. But the number of reviews that I saw that were just 1 star, and it was like, oh my God, oh, it's so terrible. It was so traumatizing for me to read this. Child, please, get out of here with that shit. Do your research. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Candace, you don't do your fucking research. But okay, I also go into a book with an open mind, and I don't judge a book by its cover type situation. You know what I'm saying? There's been times when I'll get into a book and I'm just like, no, it's not for me. It's a turn off, whatever, But I'm not going to go on Amazon and leave a 1-star review that just says, oh, this is trash. This is whatever. Because there is an audience, whether you want to believe it or not, whether you think it's immoral or not, whether you find it triggering or not, there is an audience of women, because the majority of them are women, out there who find this shit appealing, who find scenarios like this hot. It gets them hot and bothered. I'm one of those people. I'm sorry. I don't like rape scenes for the sake of rape scenes. I don't like that. Like in a movie, when you see, I bitched about the Rob Zombie remakes of Halloween. We're not gonna go there. But if it lends something to the plot and it adds to the overall story, then it's appropriate. You know what I'm saying? It's inappropriate, but it's appropriate. If it's just there for shock value, then obviously, yes, I'm going to be like, If it's part of a dark romance novel plot, leave it be. I want it there. Leave it alone. Stop leaving 1-star reviews. If you don't like the book, don't buy the book. Never read it. Never read this author again. Tune off. Whatever the case may be. You want to go to Goodreads? Go to Goodreads and leave a terrible review. Don't do it on the authors where people buy the book from. Because while everyone is entitled to their own opinion, seasoned romance novel readers like myself, even though it's just my opinion, there's a whole world out there I don't know about. But people who read romance novels like it's going out of style, read your 1-star review and go, you made yourself look really ignorant, okay? Get a life. That's all I can say. This book has like 8,000 reviews. That's inconceivable to me. 8,000 reviews. The overall rating for this book is 4.5 stars. There are obviously people out there who like it. I'm just saying. Okay, so in rant, that's it for that. If anything I just said was offensive to you, I apologize. I know, like I said, people can be triggered by stuff. Just don't read the book. I can't. I'm not being nasty or anything. I don't understand why people do that. I don't understand why they go on there and they leave such a disparaging comment, like such a disparaging review. If it wasn't your cup of tea, it wasn't your cup of tea. But there is an audience out there for it. And whether you find it appropriate or not, we want it. So, okay. Anyway, I still love all you guys. If this isn't your cup of tea, then tune off. Because, again, trigger warning. This book does contain, is considered a dark romance novel and contains bits of really anti-feminist behavior by the male character and really all of the main male characters, or subsequent like second tier characters, whatever. The heroine of the book is taunted, stalked, hunted, physically abused. Not for the sake of like physical abuse, but like in like the struggle she gets scuffed up. Okay. Almost molested a few times. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's there. So trigger warning. If you don't like that type of stuff, tune out. Go watch a different review. It's not for everybody. I get that. But for those of you who were here, keep watching because I'm going to get in. I'm going to read you guys a blurb. It's very long. As Miss Douglas's blurbs tend to be. There are 2 POVs. Michael is the main male character. Erica, she goes by Rika through most of the book, is the main female character. The blurb is split into 2 sections from both of their POVs. The first one is Erica's, and I'm going to start now. Okay. I was told that dreams were our heart's desires. My nightmares, however, became my obsession. His name is Michael Christ. My boyfriend's older brother is like that scary movie that you peek through your hand to watch. He's handsome, strong, and completely terrifying. The star of his college basketball team and now gone pro, he's more concerned with the dirt on his shoe than me. But I noticed him. I saw him. I heard him. The things that he did and the deeds that he hid. For years, I bit my nails, unable to look away. Now I've graduated high school and moved on to college, but I haven't stopped watching Michael. He's bad, and the dirt I've seen isn't content to stay in my head anymore because he's finally noticed me. Okay, Michael. Her name is Erica Fain, but everyone calls her Rika. My brother's girlfriend grew up hanging around my house and is always at our dinner table. She looks down when I enter a room and stills when I'm close. I can always feel the fear rolling off of her, and while I haven't had her body, I know that I have her mind. That's all I really want anyway. Until my brother leaves for the military, and I find Rika alone at college, in my city, unprotected. The opportunity is too good to be true, as well as the timing. Because you see, 3 years ago, she put a few of my high school friends in prison, and now they're out. We've waited, we've been patient. And now every last one of her nightmares will come true. Okay, Corrupt is a standalone dark romance with no cliffhanger. It is suitable for ages 18 plus. Okay, could that be more descriptive? Sure. Does it have to be? No. Like the author can do whatever the fuck she wants. Okay. So, God, where to begin? So this, like I said, this book is like almost 500 pages. So I'm sure I'm going to forget a bunch of the plot. I'm going to fuck up a bunch of the plot. You're going to be angry by the time you tune off this video. you've been warned. That's all I can say. I'm sorry. I told you in advance I was going to fuck it up. So who should we begin with? So just like a lot of Penelope's other books, she alternates the POV chapter by chapter. So some chapters will be from Erica's point of view and some will be from Michael's. In addition to that, she alternates in this book and in the subsequent books. She alternates between present day and stuff that's happened in the past. Fine. I've read plenty of books that do that. It's not a bother to me. It's clearly defined at the beginning of every chapter. Like, Erica, present. Erica, 3 years ago. Michael, 3 years ago. Like, it clearly tells you when it's taking you back and from whose point of view. I appreciate that because not all books do that. Sometimes they'll do like a flashback scene smack dab in the middle of a chapter, and like for a second, unless they put it in like italics or something, for a second you're like, wait, what? I'm lost. What happened? A lot of authors will do that and put the text in italics, and that's fine. After like, they'll put like 4 spaces, line spaces, and then they'll do italics, and that tells you it's like a flashback scene, especially if there's more than one throughout the book. That's fine. I'm cool with that. But with this book, she put it at the beginning of every chapter, hey, this is a flashback scene, and it will be that way through the entire chapter. I appreciated that. That's something new, and I appreciate that. So yeah. So who should we begin with first? Michael or Erica? Okay. Erica is the main female character for this book. Rika, as she's known. Rika has grown up. Her parents are very wealthy jewelry store owners. Like they own like a jewelry line or like a jewelry company, like gems and diamonds and shit, right? So she's like a diamond heiress type situation. Her father was killed in a car accident before the book started. She was in the car when it happened. She survived, but she has like a very long scar that runs down like the length of her neck, which she's constantly trying to hide because her boyfriend Trevor doesn't like it, doesn't find it appealing. So she's like constantly like sweeping her hair over her shoulder or whatever. She's very self-conscious about the scar. Okay. Ever since the accident, her mom has kind of turned into a recluse. She drinks prescription medications, very checked out. Like, she's still a good mom. She still loves her daughter, but she's very, even though her and Erica like talk every day, and even when she's not there, like she calls her and stuff, like she's present enough in her daughter's life that it's easy for Rika to ignore that she clearly has like substance abuse issues. They live in a house that's right down the road from a larger house, or an equally large house, owned by Michael's parents. Michael's parents are your typical upper crust, like I forget what it is that his dad does, money management or something in the city. His dad is your typical disapproving father, standoffish, judgmental, overbearing, right? You get it? His mom is like a, you know what I'm saying? Stepford wife, basically. It could happen, something bad could happen right in front of her face, and she would just be like, oh, no, that didn't happen. Like, denial, delusions. Like, but she's still a nice person. She's still sweet. She's still like whatever. She just pretends like nothing. Her husband is a philandering piece of shit. And she, I guess to protect herself from being hurt by that, she just has like shut down all of her darker emotions. She's just very like one-dimensional. I love my kids. I love my husband. Everything is perfect. My life is perfect. That type of thing, right? So Rika, since the time of her father's death, has grown up in both households. She spends a lot of time over at the Chris mansion. Unbeknownst to her, Michael and Trevor's father has been slowly like kind of grooming her to be Trevor's wife. They were born around the same time. Michael is a few years older. I think like 3 years older. And yeah, so Michael's dad handles Erica's family's money. He like handles all of their property. He's like their financial manager or whatever. And since the time of Erica's dad's death, everything that Erica is set to inherit from him has been put into a trust that Michael's dad manages. He makes sure she has credit cards and she has money and she can touch whatever, but the bulk of her inheritance is in a trust that he takes care of, including the property, the gem store, the jewelry stores, that kind of thing. So she's grown up in the Christ household as much as she's grown up in her own household. And unbeknownst to her, she's been groomed to end up with Trevor. They've been pushed together. Trevor is like your typical entitled piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Michael is the oldest. He, in the beginning, from a very young age, his father attempted to control him. And over time, like as he matured into a teenager and a young adult, he rebelled more and more and more. Not openly rebelled, like telling his father to his face, fuck you, but like in subtle ways. Like he went out for the basketball team. He eventually took a scholarship to play basketball as opposed to going to some prestigious college and being a financier or whatever. He is now a pro basketball player. He has a few friends, 3 to be exact. There's Will, Damon, and Kai. They're all from wealthy families. They're all over entitled. They're all devil may care. They're collectively what's known as the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. They have a reputation in the town of every year on what's called what Penelope has dubbed Devil's Night, which is the night before Halloween. They put on masks and they maraud around the town, just wreaking havoc. And they've done so since like the beginning of high school. Every year on the same day, they started out doing small things like toilet papering people's houses and egging people's cars and just, just doing shit stupid teenagers do. As they got older, the taste for havoc became darker, and it turned into more of a we're gonna get really trashed, we're gonna have orgies, we're gonna light stuff on fire, there's arson involved, and there's all this stuff involved, right? So Rika has basically grown up watching Michael. Even though her family and Michael's family were pushing for her to end up with Trevor, she has had like a sick fascination with Michael since she was little. She's always, every time he enters a room, she like is very aware of his presence. She's afraid of him, but at the same time she's intrigued and she's attracted, and she finds that darkness very attractive. She feels like she herself has a darkness in her that she wants to let out, but she can't, because she's supposed to be this perfect like good girl. Like she's considered the good girl at school. She's considered the good girl at home. She's very demure, very, you know, whatever. So she's always watched him. Unbeknownst to her, he's always been very aware of her and watched her. He was fascinated by her from the time she was born. There was like a scene where he described her coming home from the hospital and their families being together in the same place, and him seeing her as a baby. And even then he thought like he wanted to hold her and he wanted to protect her and he wanted to whatever. And his dad like snatched her away and like put her near Trevor instead. Like he's always felt very pushed out, and because of that he's rebelled against his father and he's rebelled against everything, and he's become like the town bad boy, like the town alpha bad boy. And now him and his friends are the town's trouble gang. Like they're like, that's basically what they do. They just like whore around and they do whatever. So they've built up like this reputation. And like the girls who are like the bad seeds at school, they find that very hot and attractive. And they like come in, and it's to the point where because they come from such money that they can pretty much get away with murder. Even adults, teachers at the high school, when they show up, even after like 4 years after they've graduated, they show up at the school and the teachers won't like be like, get the fuck out, what are you doing here? They just kind of like that number. So 3 years ago, not present day, 3 years ago, Rika snuck into the catacombs of an old abandoned church where there was, on Devil's Night, where there was some hot stuff going on, like down there, like orgy stuff. And she was 16. Michael had just graduated, or like it was his last hurrah or whatever before graduation. Or he had just graduated, I can't remember. He had just gone off to college and he had come home for Devil's Night. And he finds her, the stowaway. And they have like very angsty, very seductive encounter. And, you know, he's like a predator and she's his prey, right? But it's because he sees something in her that she wants to let out of herself. Like they're like kindred spirits almost. But he knew that if he was to show any interest in her whatsoever, that his father would jerk her in the opposite direction and she'd be even more out of reach than she currently is. Also, he considers 16 to be too young, even though he wants to do stuff to her. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna do any, like, we're gonna wait. We'll wait till you're 18. We'll wait till you graduate, and then we'll be together and whatever. That's like finally after they have their little come to Jesus moment where they both admit there's something here, like something between us. So it's Devil's Night 3 years ago. She sneaks in. They drag her along with their antics for the night, which includes like arson, setting a gazebo on fire. They get stopped by the cops and she breaks into her own family's jewelry store as a diversion so the guys can get away. So for a hot minute, they consider her part, or most of them consider her part of the group. So they're just going around wreaking havoc, and they make the stupid decision to record everything on like a cell phone. Later on that night, like they all go back to this warehouse to party, this abandoned warehouse to party that's like located out like slightly outside of their town. And she goes upstairs, Michael follows her. They have their little moment where he's like, there is something here, and yes, I do want you, but I'm not gonna touch you until you're of age. I'm not gonna, whatever. And she wants him to do more, and he won't do more. And then when he realizes that she's not ready for any of this, and that she's gonna end up driving a wedge between him and his brothers and that kind of thing, he's very cruel to her, and he pushes her away. And he leaves. He tells his guys, get her home. I'm gonna walk home. I can't, like, they have a big fight and whatever. So the guys appear to have left without her. She goes to get her hoodie that's sitting in the booth. And when she puts it on, she feels something in the pocket, and it turns out to be the cell phone with all their dirty deeds on it. So it turns out that she had, one of the guys picked up the wrong sweatshirt, and she in turn picked up his sweatshirt, and she put it on, and the phone is in the pocket. She goes outside. She runs into the other three. Michael's left. She runs into Kai, Will, and Damon. Will is 3 sheets to the wind. He's clearly got also alcohol abuse issues going on throughout the entire series. I think he's fucked up most of the time. Damon scares her. Damon he's constantly chain smoking cigarettes. He's always saying something filthy. He has like a very dark vibe about him, and not dark like Michael, dark like rapey, dark. Kai is like the big brother, father figure, voice of reason in their gang. Normally, he's the one who steps in to rein Damon in, or to rein Will in, if they're getting too out of line. Like, he still wants to wreak havoc, and he still wants to party, and he still wants to do whatever, but he's usually the one that will know where the line is, and he'll help define that line for the rest of the crew. She gets into their van. Will is basically passed out in the very back. Kai is wearing his mask and not talking, and he's sitting next to her. Damon is driving, and she's like, no, I'll walk, I'm cool. And they're like, no, we promised Michael we'd get you home safe. She gets in the van, and they start driving towards her house, or towards her home. And she's like uncomfortable, clearly, but she's like, okay, well, they are heading towards my home. Like, I know they're going the right way, so they're just weird. And the whole time she's talking to Kai, and he's not responding. And under the mask and the hood, she can't really see any of his face. And she's like, what's wrong with you? Like, you weren't like this earlier. You've never been this way with me. Like, you know. So she finds it weird. Damon is also acting strange. They're driving, they pass her house. She's like, where are you taking me? What's going on? Damon drives her out to like an abandoned field, where he basically pushes her out, or like drags her out of the van, in addition to Kai. And they basically like stalk her out into the middle of a field and tell her that she has no place in the group. She doesn't belong. And it gets to a point where it appears as if Kai is about to like sexually assault her, and Damon pulls him off, which is very uncharacteristic of both of them. And after that, she goes back, she runs into the woods, and she's close enough to her house that she can make it home. The next morning, all the guys wake up. Michael, Kai, they wake up, and their phones are just going wild. Social media alerts and texts and calls and whatever. And they realize that somehow the videos that they took the night before of them breaking the law have been uploaded to social media. They start thinking back, how the fuck could this have happened? Will, that pops up and goes, I remember Rika wearing my sweatshirt. She had the phone last. So they all assume that Rika was the one who uploaded the videos to the internet because she was butthurt that Michael had snubbed her. Within hours, everyone except for Michael is arrested. They make deals and plead down charges and whatever as much as they can do, but they're not immune to everything that happened regardless of their money. And they end up, the other three, Damon, Will, and Kai, end up serving between 28 months and like 3 years. Like they each serve roughly 3 years in prison. While they're in prison, Michael ignores Rika completely. Like he wants nothing to do with her. He goes off to college. He feels very heavy guilt for what happened because he feels like it's his fault. And he's angry at Rika for thinking, like he thinks that she did this. To placate his friends, they come up with a plan of like revenge for when they get out. They're going to basically alienate her, cut her off from her family, what's left of her family, her mom, cut her off financially, somehow manage to take over her assets, and basically make it so that she's alone and afraid. And then they're going to basically stalk her to the point where I think at one point they confront her. They force her into the Christ house, and it all comes out that you did this, like you fucked us out of 3 years of our lives. And this all comes out after they've almost, what she believes to be like almost attacked her, like sexually attacked her. They taunt her like they're going to do it. They don't actually do it. She manages to get away. She runs to like a garden shed or something on the property. She finally finds her medal, and she comes back and she confronts them. She has a weapon or whatever. She's gonna fuck them up. She's like, why are you doing this? It comes out, they accuse her of uploading the videos. She, at first it seems like she's playing dumb, like, what are you talking about? And then over time, Michael is angry and is like, you ruined my friends' lives. You did this. And she's like, I didn't do anything. I didn't put those videos on the internet. I don't know what you're talking about. Why don't you ask your friends about them taking me to a field and basically attacking me even though they claim to be my friend? Michael's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's like, yeah, after you left and went home, Damon, Kai, and Will, not so much Will because he was passed out, Damon and Kai took me to a field and roughed me up. Kai looks at her and is like, you're full of shit, you're lying. I was with Michael. It turns out after Michael left, Kai followed him home. They got drunk. They passed out watching like basketball games on TV. The person who was wearing Kai's mask in the van was not Kai. They find out that with the assistance of Damon, Trevor, Michael's younger brother, had disguised himself as Kai in an attempt to scare Rika away from the group so that she would not be close to Michael, so she would run straight into his arms, etc., etc., etc. Okay. This all comes out. They're guilt-ridden at this point. At least Kai and Will. Damon lashes out. I can't believe you would choose her over me. I'm supposed to be your brother. Yada, yada, yada. They're like, you let us do this knowing that you were part of like whatever. And he's like, no, but she still put the videos on the internet. What he doesn't know, what they all don't know, is that during the scuffle in the field, the phone fell out of the hoodie pocket. The person in Kai's mask found the phone and uploaded the videos to the internet. So it comes out that Michael's brother, Trevor, not only attacked Rika, pretending to be Kai, but he's the one who leaked all the videos and sent everybody to jail. It broke up his brother's merry band of men who were getting too much attention. He wasn't getting any attention. And it alienated Michael and Rika from each other because Michael was enraged at what he thought she had done. And she was afraid to be around him now because he's kind of gone off the deep end. So of course I'm gonna end up going over here with Trevor because it's the safe route. So all this comes out. Damon makes a run for it. He disappears. Later on, Michael and Rika have like they've already started like a sexual relationship because this is 3 years later. She's 19 now. They've already started like a sexual relationship even prior to all of this coming out. Michael wrote it off as part of his revenge scheme, but really he had feelings for her. All this comes out, even though she's been tormented and she's been traumatized and she's been whatever at the hands of these guys, she still has feelings for Michael. She's in love with him. They start kind of like a relationship where they spend a lot of time together. Damon's still missing. The other two guys are trying to atone for their sins of the way they treated her, etc., etc. Michael's being very overbearing because he doesn't know where Damon is, so he's like telling her where she can go and what she can do, and like that part kind of irritated me, but typical, you know. The end is basically like a come to Jesus moment where what we all know think is going to happen happens, and she gets taken by Damon from her apartment in the city, and she's taken to the Chris yacht. They have a yacht. And who does she find there but Trevor, who is working with Damon, or Damon is working with him. And Trevor has just completely gone off the fucking deep end. Like, he's off the reservation. And he's going to kill Rika because he doesn't want his brother's whore now. And he's going to kill his brother. And he's going to kill Will and Kai for helping and everything. And he attempts to do so. Good prevails, as good as it can be with these dudes. And Trevor gets his comeuppance, and Damon disappears again. And now Michael has finally come to the realization, finally, after 500 pages, come to the realization that he's loved her his entire life. It took almost losing her for him to admit that to himself. He doesn't want to wait anymore. He doesn't want to plan anything else. He's going to live in the moment. He wants to be with her. He's in love with her. She's in love with him. Yada, yada, yada. This book does have a happily ever after ending. So, don't worry about cliffhangers. Don't worry about whatever. The ending does lead into the fact that there are going to be further books, because there is a lot of attention focused on Kai towards the second half of the book. And his book is the next one. I believe it's called Hideaway. And that's the one that I just started. So, okay. 4 hours later. For the rating for the book, I gave it a solid 9. Maybe like a 9.25. I feel like I want to give it like a little bump, but I would recommend this book, if you enjoy dark romance, if you are not triggered by things like, I don't know, torture, tormenting, stalkery type stuff, right? If you're not triggered by that and you like dark romance, this is right up your alley. The writing style is very well done. The writing is very well done. I really like the writing style. I really enjoyed the bits of audio that I listened to. The girl, the audio narrator for Rika, her voice is a little bit high pitched for my taste, but not so put offing. It's not a word, but not so off-putting. The fuck? It's not so off-putting that I stopped listening, because that has happened to me before. But yeah, so if you like dark romance, I think it, like with bits of suspense and mystery and intrigue, I think you would like this. I enjoyed the book. I would recommend it to other people who have similar tastes. Again, I repeat, it's not for everyone. But if you're into this kind of stuff, it's a good story. It's typical of a dark romance where the male is very scary and the female is very timid and afraid. But at some point, she reaches the end of her rope and she starts fighting back. And I like that. Like, I like, you know what I mean? So yeah. So I will continue to read the remaining novels unless I'm just totally put off by something that comes up in the future. I don't know. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I liked it enough to buy it. I have already ordered Kai's book because I like Kai. Boy, Kai is described as, it's weird because she doesn't give, like, she'll say, oh, this guy has black hair or this guy has whatever, but she doesn't really go into great detail in their appearances aside from hair color and eye color. And I've noticed that. She'll say like, oh, the height is this, average build, whatever. Okay, cool. But she doesn't delve into like nationality or anything like that. Like Kai's full name is Kai Mori, M-O-R-I, and his dad has a very Asian sounding first name. So like, I'm wondering, is Kai Asian? And I don't know if that was specified anywhere in the first book. She just said that he had dark hair and dark eyes. Like, I don't know. I'd like to get a clearer picture of Kai in my head. So maybe I'll do a little bit of research on that. But for right now, I'm starting to picture him as a buff Asian guy, but like bad boy Asian, you know? You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. It's weird. That part of it is weird, but yeah, I've already purchased the paperback for Kai's book because I can already tell that I'm going to like the way it started off is very unusual, and I'm already in it. I'm in it to win it. So that's it. Fucking finally. If you like this video, if you like me and you like my channel, please consider subscribing. Insert thirsty emoji. I would really appreciate it. If you would like, you can follow me on social media. I do have a members only Facebook group, an Instagram, and a Twitter devoted to this channel. I'll link them all down below and I'll put a little banner on the screen for you guys to see. And yeah, I think that's it. I thank you so much for watching and joining me and sticking with me for another video. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys at my next one. Okay, I love you so much. Bye. We're just gonna start because I can't be fucking around with this thing anymore. Okay. Shakeage. Okay. Res. There's fucking glitter on this cover. Or like in this cover. Oh my god, that's so amazing. Okay. Fat arms. Farmer tan. Great. Love that. Okay. Let me get a little tea. Okay. Be chill. Be chill. Trigger warning. What? Do you email the following link to the message page from dot? Who the fuck is that? What happened? Try harder. What happened? Why are your hands so cold?
Because I was drinking my drink.
Oh, but you're holding it for a long time?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What do you want? Why are you bugging me?
Rubber ducky.
What do you want? What happened?
Rubber ducky.
No, what do you want for real?
I want rubber ducky.
Okay, get out. Get out.
I want ducky.
No, no ducky, get out. Go on.
I want my ducky.
I'll be done soon. Get out.
I want my ducky.
So go get it from the bathroom. Why are you asking me?
You will get
No, I'm recording. You know that. Go.
Right. Ah.
I'll see you later. Literally for nothing, just for the sake of coming in to bother me and kill time. Anyway. Oh god. Okay. Oh my god, my back. Oh my god, my back. Oh, my back. Snapping in half. Okay. That wasn't as much of a shit show as my Punk 57 review was. Like, I feel like maybe it's because, you know what it is? I think my brain just can't hold details to a book for longer than it takes for me to, long enough for me to review that book. Does that make sense? Like, once I finish a book, I need to sit down and record the review immediately. If I start another book, even if it's a book in the same series where the same characters are there and whatever, now I'm focused on this couple and all the details for this book just flew out the fucking window. They're gone. They're literally gone. My brain is so bad now in my old age that I literally can't remember what happened in the book that I just finished reading because I've now started another book. And sometimes it takes me like a week or so to record again, and I to work up the will, and I just can't. And by the time I sit down, I've finished 2 books, and I need to review both. And this one, I don't remember anything about it, and this one is fresher in my mind, but by the time I review this one, I've forgotten all the details of this one. I don't know. My brain is just such trash. So, if it appears as though I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, that's why. Because I did read it. My brain did absorb it. It was fresh when I finished the book a week ago. Now, my brain has absorbed new book information and the old book is just gone. So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry in advance. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I appreciate you guys watching though. Okay, I'm gonna go. This video is gonna be like an hour and 10 minutes. I've got to stop. I have to figure out why I'm doing this. Like, I started out at 20-minute videos, and then 30-minute videos, and then 40-minute videos, and now I'm at like an hour. Nobody wants to watch me for an hour. Any Hooseldorf. So satisfying. I haven't done that in a hot minute. So satisfying. Shit, I dropped the bits. Trash. I'm gonna have to vacuum. There's little bits of paper everywhere. I'm done. I'm Audi 5000, bitches. I love you guys so much. I'll see you next time. I'm gonna try and review. I'm gonna try and record right after I finish books now. Like I just can't. My head hurts all the time, and I can't. Woe is me. Pity me. I'm done. I love you.